I was introduced to the discipline of solitude a number of years back through a solitude retreat, where I was given a 24-hour block of time completely alone with God, away from other people, away from music and books, away from food, away from the many things that I soon realized I had allowed to become more important in my life than God. This is one of the most difficult days of my life, as I found myself in a monumental struggle to keep my focus on God while an endless array of distractions presented themselves and forced me into an awareness of who I really am, a man who has allowed busyness and action to replace intimacy with my Creator. Henri Nouwen addressed the battle with these distractions by saying, "The task is to persevere in my solitude, to stay in my cell until all my seductive visitors get tired of pounding on my door and leave me alone." That full day of intentional solitude many years back gave me the wonderful opportunity to experience the struggle between who I am and who I should be, and gave me the opportunity to experience the presence of God in a very real way, as God helped me to persevere long enough for some of those visiting distractions to quit pounding on my door. Since that day, solitude has remained a very important discipline in my life. I still struggle mightily with each attempt, but it is in that struggle that I find myself being transformed. In speaking of the ancients who practiced solitude, Nouwen says that solitude is the furnace of transformation, the place of the great struggle and the great encounter, the struggle against the compulsions of the false self and the encounter with a loving God who offers Himself as the substance of the new self. In my time in youth ministry, I was wonderfully blessed to see teenagers enter into the struggle of solitude and experience the same transforming presence of God in the midst of that struggle through our annual spiritual discipline retreat. One of the constants of that retreat was a 3-hour time of solitude that the students consistently spoke of as being the most difficult part of the weekend, but also the most transforming part of the weekend. In Scripture, we see Jesus Himself entering into solitude with His Father on a regular basis. Jesus saw the importance of those times of intimacy and would pull Himself away from the crowds, away from doing the important work of His Father to participate in the important work of being with His Father. I think that this is key for us as well, that we come to understand that being with God prepares us for doing the work of God. It is my prayer that more and more people will attempt to enter the wonderful struggle of solitude and thereby discover, as Nouwen says, that solitude is thus the place of purification and transformation, the place of the great struggle and the great encounter. It is the place where Christ remodels us in His own image and frees us from the victimizing compulsions of the world. It is my prayer that more and more people will find the promise of James 4:8 to be true in solitude. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you.